Come right here and be that one out.
Thank you, and good morning. The hub to be a symbol of people coming together and enjoying the plaza.
You're in the way, sir.
And I always gauge what a community looks like. You cannot line up in front of Gracie Mansion, the mayor's house, and the people's house, and use drugs. You cannot line up there to trash on the street. You can't line up there and have disorderly behavior. If you can't do it in Gracie Mansion, then you cannot be able to do it on 3rd Avenue and East 148th Street.
That's right.
And for a long time, Councilman Salamanca and other elections in this area that talked about this place called the Hub. People have thrown up their hands and basically stated that it is not manageable, there's nothing we can do about it, we can't do anything about the trash, the litter. And I just don't accept that, and I don't believe that. Our city cannot be in any and every location, particularly here in the borough of the Bronx. I have been in the Bronx with the elected officials and community leaders probably more than any man in the history of the city. Because the Bronx is an indicator. It's a borough of hard-working people. It's a borough that wants the same quality of life that others deserve. And it's a borough where we can come together and give them that quality of life. The agencies are responsible for allowing the recycling of tax dollars to go back in the delivery of goods and services. And that is what the heads of our agencies believe in and our deputy mayors believe in. And as you see, to the left of me, to the right of me, is not only the councilmen of this area, but you also see those who are in charge in the delivery of the services to the people who are here. It is clearly an indicator that if we have individuals who are homeless, individuals who are using drugs openly, individuals who are dealing with medical conditions and care, individuals who need the resources of the services, we can't provide for them if we are inside the sterilized environment of our office buildings. We must go and meet people where they are to give them the services that they deserve. As I was walking through the gate, a gentleman from this area stopped me and he said, "Thank you for returning our community and our space." This space should be used for children and families. It should not be a place where you're congregated to do illegal behavior. And that is what the Chief of Staff, Camille Joseph Ballard, and her entire team, as well as my commissioners who are here, that is what we're focusing on, to make sure the delivery of these services are delivered correctly. And every New Yorker must feel safe and must be safe. Can you imagine coming here to shop and you walk through a place that is classified as an indicator of what's wrong in our society and not what's the best about our society? So here we are in the Hub, the oldest shopping locale in the Bronx, the oldest shopping location in the Bronx. This is the Broadway of the Bronx, where you receive quality services. This is where you shop. A lot of our small-owned businesses. When we talk about the return of small businesses to this city, the largest number of small businesses in the history of the city, this is the type of area we're talking about. And this includes the goal of creating the right atmosphere and the right environment that we're focused on. Public safety, we say over and over again, is the prerequisite to our prosperity. And for far too long, this neighborhood has been plagued by issues like illegal vending, overflowing trash, open substance use, worsening traffic conditions, and homelessness. These issues have kept customers, foot traffic, and it has impacted tourism. Tourists should come here not only to watch the Yankees play, but they should come here and spend their dollars and enjoy the beauty and the culture of the Bronx. business owners in the community of the South Bronx are fed up, and you know what? We are fed up as well, and we know we can do better. We listened to the community, and earlier this year, we launched the Melrose Avenue Hub, a joint city agency effort. This will allow us to address chronic complaints and improve public safety. But it's clear our work is not done. People of the South Bronx deserve a commercial corridor that is safe, clean, and drug-free. We are enhancing our operation to clean up this location, and since last Thursday, we have supercharged our massive cross-agency operation to sweep out illegal activities in this area, and we have surged more officers to dedicated patrol here in this location, a detail that will be focused on quality of life issues. And our Transit District 12 team is providing 24-hour coverage of the 3rd Avenue, 149th Street subway station. And since July 10th, we have used these agencies to put enforcement in action. 52 arrests, 576 summonses, and the traffic department has conducted 82 vendor operations and inspections. So I want to be clear, we're not going to tolerate this type of disorder anywhere in our city in general, specifically here in the South Bronx. Our priority is to ensure safety. We have temporarily closed Roberto Clemente Plaza so we can remove the garbage, the junk, and clean of the location. And we have placed a traffic detail here until further notice. DOT Commissioner Adonis Rodriguez will make sure the traffic and his team is moving in a smooth manner here in this location. And then our Commissioner of the Department of Sanitation, they're doubling their cleaning efforts with assistance from the Emergency Management Team and the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene has deployed syringe outreach and litter teams 6 days a week with street-level engagement, cleanup, and care referrals. Our homeless outreach teams are deployed in this area 6 days a week, morning and night, to help our brothers and sisters that are homeless and need to get the services they deserve. And our building team, they're dealing with these structures that are illegally placed up. We're going to remove the sidewalk sheds and the hazardous conditions that come with it. This is a whole of government approach. The entire team is going to be engaged, from the Department of Buildings to Homeless Services to DOT to the NYPD to DSNY, all hands on deck. We are not going to allow the people of the South Bronx to feel as though they have to live in substandard conditions. They deserve better, our city deserves better, and we're going to make sure that we produce the agency's response to ensure that it is right. This commercial corridor is the heartbeat of the community, and it must be safe and they must feel safe. And we know what happens when we revitalize commercial corridors and public spaces. People spend money, they come out, they enjoy the space. It is bringing employment to the area. That is why we were able to drop unemployment in the black and brown community by 30%. Is because we have brought back to life these corridors. And so I've said it many times, I'll say it again, public safety is the prerequisite to our prosperity, and we're going to continue to make sure public safety is our North Star. I want to turn it over to Chief of Staff Camille Joseph.
Thank you, sir. In February, joined by our many partners here today, we made a commitment, as led by Mayor Adams, to the residents of the South Bronx, that we would use comprehensive community-driven solutions to ensure that the hub or any neighborhood in the city is not overlooked or underserved. Our community-linked team and supporting agencies answered that call and surged efforts to address the quality of life conditions that have historically impacted this area. As was noted by the mayor, we have done the work, stayed on the ground, canvassed the neighborhood, and heard directly from residents that they need to see more. One of the things that this administration is proudest of is how community-led our work is. Beginning last week, after conducting multiple walkthroughs, also with my partners who are here today, Deputy Mayors Suzanne, Jeff, and Pat Daughtry, we have laser-focused our efforts on making a real change in these streets. Our agency will continue their deployment and will reassess conditions in the coming weeks to determine next steps. The South Bronx has historically faced these challenges alone without the proper resources or support from the city, resources that they clearly need. This administration has heard the neighborhood loud and clear, and we are doing things differently. By working alongside our community partners and activating this broad coalition of agencies, I am confident that we will continue our work for the residents of this community. At this time, I would like to invite one of our strongest partners and a steadfast advocate who needs no introduction, Councilmember Salamanca.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for being here today. This is a long time coming. For those of you that are from this community, see, I'm born and raised in this community. I went to Alfred Smith High School up the block when I was much younger. I remember walking down 149th Street and 3rd Avenue. And what we've experienced in the last 10 years in this intersection is something that we've never experienced before. Past administrations have made promises. Past administrations have had temporarily allocated resources here. Then the resources have gone, but the issue has continued to plague our community. I see Marty. Marty's here. Someone who's from this community, who has been an advocate in terms of the syringes that we have in our streets. He's personally gone out and he's picked up those syringes. He's come to a community meeting. He's been ringing the bell for years. I see you, Marty, and I want to thank you for your advocacy. The 3rd Avenue bid, where we've been joined by Pedro Suarez. He's been steadfast, ringing the bell, ringing the alarm. We need to do better here in this intersection. Now, many folks want to point fingers at one another, but the reality is that this has been a setup to fail. When we're talking about 16 non-for-profits providing supportive services, substance abuse services here in the intersection of 149th Street and 3rd Avenue. What else do you think we're going to get? The reality is that we need the state to step up. The state needs to stop giving these licenses. They need to start relocating some of these non-for-profits so that we can actually address the issue in this intersection. Well, anyway, moving forward, Mr. Mayor, I want to thank you. You set up a command station here on 149th Street and 3rd Avenue. I want to thank the Department of Sanitation, who has been steadfast in ensuring that we're cleaning these streets. Please give them a big round of applause. But most importantly, I also want to thank Acacia and the other non-for-profits who have been working with my office, ensuring that we are providing services to our most vulnerable population that are in need. You know, substance abuse is a disease, and we cannot arrest our way out of this. We need to provide services. We need to continue to provide services so we can get them off the streets, get them into an apartment, and get them the help that they need. And this is the start. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And so with that, you know, it is my honor to bring up someone who has been a supporter, who has been ringing the bell, who's a leader in this community. Un aplauso, please, for the Executive Director of the 3rd Avenue bid, Mr. Pedro Suarez.
Well, this is overwhelming. We sit across the street at the Bronx co-working space and have had eyes on this plaza every day. And the only thing that I really want to share here today is gratitude. Because we cannot do this work alone. So I have a lot of gratitude for the city's response, to the mayor, for his team, for our council member Salamanca, our borough president, everyone that has come to the table, the people on the ground, Department of Sanitation. We would really not be able to do this without their support. The Department of Small Business Services, DOT. It's really a multifaceted, multi-agency effort. Complex issues require multi-layered responses. And that's really what we've been asking for. And I'm glad to see that we've gotten this overwhelming response. This community just wants to be seen and heard and feel those changes. And in my role at the bid, I will continue to advocate for that and work with the city to make sure that the response matches the need. So thank you everyone for being here today. It's an honor to serve on the bid. Thank you.
Questions from the community? Are you not checking questions?
Thank you for our question. So first I want to make clear that we didn't remove individuals, right? People had to move along because we were clearing the plaza. And we are also aware that they do need someplace to go during the day. Some of what you've described in terms of individuals who may be in shelter right now but are not there during the day, etc. And as we canvass this area and figure out what the needs are, we recognize that. They need a place to go. And so the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene, again with the entire team, our job is not just to come here and do a surface clean. Our job is to make sure that we are providing the services that they need. We recognize that folks need a place to go, and that's one of the things we're working on.
So where were people taken, or where have people been sent for, like, what services did they need?
So they weren't sent anywhere. People moved along. And one of the things that we are doing is making sure that we're not just here in this footprint, but that we are going down the blocks, we are going to the other parks, because we understand that people need care. When we were here last week on the ground, we had an opportunity to speak to a constituent who operates a youth football team not far from here. And she indicated that some folks are going to leave here and they're going to go there. We've already been to that area several times. We actually just came from there a few minutes ago, and we see that there are individuals there that need care. So we're finding our care teams, deploying them to that area so that we can try to encourage people to go inside and get the help that they need.
Your question. What has happened around the city is that we have allowed people to stay on the streets that needed care for drug abuse, care for mental health issues, care for homelessness. And so what our partners are doing, we are identifying each person and what their needs are. If you need substance abuse, and as you know, in Harlem we have a safe injection site because we don't want people injecting themselves with drugs on our streets. If you are in need of finding housing, we have housing outreach workers. We transition more people from homelessness to permanent housing, and the numbers are clear. More individual years in the history of the city.
And I got workers to say anything out here, huh?
So we're clear.
This shit is
What we
bullshit.
can't have is have people sit here all day, either wonderful nodding, higher drugs, potentially committing crimes like you saw some of our so the goal is to identify what their needs are and give them the support that they deserve, and that's what our outreach workers is going to do.
That's why I want to make sure. That's why I want to make sure. Right.
Say that on the mic.
Yeah, and I think that's what Councilman Salamanca stated, that for years, 18 years probably, administration after administration that have promised what we have witnessed is the way to sustain it. When, Deputy Mayor Dorsey started out on Roosevelt Avenue, and sustainability, coming back for the spark check. We have increased the amount of behavior from the Department of Sanitation to clean up. So we have a sustainable model that we have proven over and over again, and I think the perfect example of that is the decrease in crime. You saw Roosevelt Avenue, new businesses are open because of the illegal prostitution. It's not a one and done. It is a sustainable model that you have to constantly stay on top of to make sure the area remains clean and make sure that the delivery of services. Councilman Salamanca is right. You can't have the oversaturation of agencies that attract people to the area. It harms the area. But our model is going to be a sustainable one as we did in Queens, where Councilman Moya partnered with us. This is a partner between the local elections, the community groups, the organizations, those who are behind it, and to the right and left of me, how we can sustain this model.
hasn't liked it, so it's crazy.
Yeah, because safety is both being safe and feeling safe. They go together. And that is why we see the two teams that are from the great. As you heard from residents, yes, we brought down crime. Yes, the safety, shooting, homicides, for this last 6 months, and all those things are important stats. How do people feel? If you bring down crime and you have a environment that we saw out here, then you pass how people feel. Dealing with food, that cost foundation is going to ensure that how people feel that that's what is done in the staff. And so that is why we're focused on this item, and that's what the teaching is about. Yes, it's about that visual display of city services states a lot. People are pleased when they see GSEY here picking up trash. Look at these pictures here. You can't do this in front of Gracie Mansion, so you should not be able to do it on 149th Street or 3rd Avenue. This is not acceptable. When you look at this picture here, this is not acceptable. Look at the difference between the left and the right photo. That is how people in the South Bronx should live. Look at the two there. And so we know that people have their feelings, and that brings about disorder. And it brings about all of this feeling of disorder, and that's why we have to make sure we respond accordingly. I'm sorry? I'm sorry, say it again? Now, we don't have to do it for credit, we're doing it for cleanliness. And so we don't have to, I know in the long run, people are going to enjoy their community day. So we're not looking for people to say, we want to have credit. I want people to feel clean, I want people to feel safe, and that's important.
Okay, so go back to the community question. We, as in the police department, on our information department, we've been out here since February 18th. So we are sustaining our presence out here. And we can talk about different numbers that are important. The quality of life goals, right? Quality of life goals for service in the hub here is down 54%. So we're going here for quality of life. We talk about homeless and mental illness. We've engaged about 1,200 homeless people. We've gotten talking to people and we can't hear you. So besides enforcement, summonses, and sometimes they'll be arrested, we get talking to the people. We gotta hear you, man. South Bronx here. Calls for service as relates to quality life is around 54%. So we're talking about 148 people, 154 St. Mary's Park, Eric Adam, so we will be out here for a long period of time. It's not the first together, like the mayor said, we supposed to have in Washington Square Park, out here in the Bronx. And we'll keep doing this exchange in terms of how people feel. We can talk numbers, but how people feel. I didn't learn something the other day. It's the oldest shopping area, from Broadway to South Bronx, I love it. And this is we're here to make this community feel better about the most important part of this town right here in the square.
Oh, I'm gonna talk to them I got things to tell them.
Why are they answering these two white ladies?
The question was just for their channel.
First let's finish this one topic, and I'll just pin on people behind me. And it's a collaboration, both the city council person, our intergovernmental affairs team. We have witnessed, like at 121st Street, we witnessed in certain areas we have oversaturation of these services and hurt the community. And we have to make sure that every community would have their fair share of these services. So one thing is we won't become a magnet for those services. And again, our outreach workers are doing an amazing job of making sure that we reach out. They're not sitting behind a desk somewhere. The Department of Homeless Services and others, just as we do in our federal system, to make sure that we reach out and deliver the services right to people. Thank you, one more time. Yeah. Right now, the fencing round is to do the cleaning that's needed to get it in order. Sometimes when you're dealing with a situation of this state, you want to first shut it down, clean it up, and then have people engage again with the proper understanding of the rules. And like you said, the increased number of cleanup crews that are here, traffic enforcement, we want to make sure that this is managed correctly, and that's the purpose of it. And we're not going to allow other copper in this place. That's why it's important to have the outreach workers out here to give people the services they deserve. So, listen, thanks everyone. Just want to answer a couple of questions.
I love that.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Salamanca. All right. Thank you, my brother. You're welcome. It's been a long time coming, right? Yeah, absolutely. All right. Thanks for having us. God bless you and the family, brother.
I guess I know you're busy right now, but when this is over, you was talking about the nonprofit organizations. A couple of minutes with you. I'd like to tell you about one of them nonprofit organizations. Maybe you can point me in the right direction. Okay, we have
right after this, I think I got to do a walkthrough with the mayor. Okay. My office is on Southern Boulevard. West Chester. Where's that? Southern Boulevard. What's that address? He's my deputy chief of staff. You take care.
Well, the fact is that
I'm sorry, I don't have any cars. I rushed out of here. I'm on Southern Boulevard, West Chester. That's on my office.
What's the address?
He's taking questions for crackers that don't even live here. I've been seeing from here.
The lawyer can figure this out.
Bye.
You don't live here. You're asking questions from somebody that's...
You ready for me right here? 1070 Southern Boulevard.
1070 Southern Boulevard. I know where that's at. 1070 Southern Boulevard. That's where I live at.
People, ones that do live here.